Hi guys, it's Kev here from Inspiring Games, and I am going to try and do our first video and give you an idea on where we're going to go with combat and so forth. So if you bear with me, because I don't use Tabletop Simulator a huge amount, but I'm learning the ropes. What we're going to do is just going to show you a quick combat here using the Student, Gutter Snipe and Labourer, and a new combat aid that we're working on to help people. Let me move that over here. Okay, into there. So let's assume that we are in the shrine room and we're currently dark and we have, we currently have no light and that we've come in from an ambient exit. So basically, apologies, we've come in from a bright exit. So basically we are a -2 because we're coming from a bright exit. So the first thing we're going to do is go and roll surprise. But before we even do that, what I'm going to do is just grab our heroes. So let's take the student here and oh, and fail to grab. So let's take the student here and give us hero 1. Okay. Let's take the gutter snipe and give us hero 2. And let's take the labourer and give us hero 3. So now that we've done that, we need to give everybody a weapon. I don't know. Let's give the student the spear, and it's the rough spear, so it only has 1 ammo. Okay, so that's why we've got 1 ammo token there. I'm going to place that under there to the best that I can. Okay, and I should now be able to create my character using the 3 talent cards. Here we go. And the occupation card and the weapon card. So I'm hoping everybody followed that. I appreciate we're mostly using the existing set. However, I thought you guys might want to see one of the new weapons, so I have gone for the Gastraphates, which is it's a crossbow from ancient Greek times, and basically, so the Achaeans are the master of it in Legends Untold. It's a 2-handed weapon, and it's basically a very, very long crossbow. It's a belly bow, so you put your tummy in here and you push it to the ground to reload it. And in game terms, what it basically means is that it's slightly easier than some of the other ranged weapons to get a strike or a critical, but it's also much easier because it's so cumbersome to actually wound your own party as well. So it's further adding on a weapon of interest, which you guys can make some tactical decisions around. But make sure you use it wisely, or your fellow heroes might hate you even more if you wound them. Important to note as well, it does have infinite ammo. However, it's got a special rule to simulate the loading time in it. We didn't want to have you being able to shoot in alternate rounds, because I think that's for the pace that Legends Untold should be played at. I think that would be not as fun, and we are trying to make a game that is grim and gritty but also fun. So our workaround on that, which we've play tested before at convention and it works, is that you can have it preloaded in the engagement round. So in the engagement round, you just shoot first if you're the first ranged hero, if that's what you want to do. There's no restrictions on it. But in then every subsequent combat round where you choose to be ranged and use the Gastraphates, then you will always shoot last. So all the ranged foes are going to shoot before you, and that is the payoff of having something that has a better chance of getting a strike or a crit. That in addition to the high fail rate. So just building that character here, I am going to make that there, and we have now got our gutter snipe built. Finally, one of my personal favourite characters, but that's probably just because I'm getting old and grey myself. We have the labourer. Let's move that down here, who has got the crude polearm from the original sewer set. So you'll see that I'm mixing, technically I'm mixing the cave set with the student and the location card, along with the sewer set, so the labourer, and the gutter snipe, and then I'm also actually including the Gastraphites and the range support cards here from the new expansion sets that we're putting in. So let me just move up my weapon talent cards to there as well, and my skill talent card, and finally we need to fight something in here. So I'm just going to grab our foes and show you how this is going to work. And what I want to actually do is just give you guys an inkling of a play aid that we're working on. I know you don't have this just now in the Caves and Sewers set. It still works perfectly well without them, but we think that this will really raise the immersion and, more importantly, solve a number of the queries that we continually get on how combat should work. So it's just so that you guys are following me here. We have 3 heroes, okay, and we know we've come from a bright exit and we didn't sneak. So the first thing we need to do is look up how many goblin guards. So this is the guard from the cave set. Okay. There are 3 of them. You guys will remember that. That I've played it before. There are 3 guards, and they will run away when there are 1 left. So 3 guards at 1 health each. Something that we use just now is this token here. So if you were playing the game as it is right now, you would just place 3 of those on this. But something that I wanted to show off to you was for the play aid, we're considering bringing in these. They're roughly, well, the prototype is 30 mil, but they're kind of poker chip type size tokens, not so slightly smaller than your current scout and guard token. Okay, and then this is to raise the immersion. We're debating about making these to fit on them rather than these. So these would just be slightly smaller tokens, but little heart-shaped ones in the Deep Sorrow set. So you then have, that sucked, Kev. You have 1. Let's grab these 2 quickly, guys. 2, 3. So if everybody's following this, there are 3 Goblin Guards, each of which have 1 health each. Okay, and they are ranged. Okay, these are ranged creatures, and we are fighting a ranged foe here. So this is the ranged foe combat aid that we're working on. I will stress it's not finished, but it's something that we're playtesting with just now. So these guys will start off in the ranged position, and we need to choose where we're going to have our characters. So the Gutter Snipe has got the Gastraphites, so he's going to start off in the range section. So we have ranged creatures, ranged heroes, and melee. Okay, our labourer is going to, he could use, have we got fungi in this room? Let me drag this down here a bit and make life easier. Now, there is fungi in the room, so we could, because he's a fungi expert, play a fungal spores attack, which is a ranged attack. I think I will not, because what I want to do first of all is, of course, establish whether we are surprised or not. So, you guys all knew that. I'm going to take my 3d6. We have a 5 plus 6, 11, and we're at a -2 for going. Oh, you moved it, Kev. Come on. We're at a -2 for going for bright, so that makes us a 9, which is well below the 12 threshold. It's well below the 12 threshold. So we are surprised here, guys. So what does that mean? It means that we cannot choose to retreat in the first turn. So we've got to fight these guys, because some people do forget that you don't have to fight everybody in Legends Untold. And secondly, we're going to start off with disadvantage. So everybody's going to love the archer in this respect. And these guys are all going to start off with advantage. So let me grab a number of these tiles. Now, I know these look marginally different, guys. It's a rhombus on a square. The intention would probably still be to stick with the rhombus, but it's so that we have to use an object called a tile rather. So think mahjong. We have to have a tile rather than a token in Tabletop Simulator, because it's the only way that you can flip onto the reverse. Otherwise, I need to have two different tokens. Okay, so that's why these look like they're built on a square, just to explain that to you guys. So these guys all start with advantage. This is one thing that repeatedly comes up in the queries that we're trying to clarify here. And our guys are all going to start with disadvantage. Boo. Serves you right for having a sucky roll, Kev. So there's 1, 2, and ooh, what did you do there, young man? Okay, flip that over. So if I now zoom back out, you can see spare. You can see we have set up for combat. We have been surprised. We have all heroes at -2, and we have all creatures on a +2. The gutter snipe is going to choose to shoot the student. I think is going to use Flint Flash as a spell, so she will be ranged as well because she's going to use that as a ranged attack. Okay, so I'm going to drag that up to there, and then finally the labourer. We have used the ranged attack, fungal spores, so 10 plus for an advantage, which is not bad. And yeah, I think so. There's no, I'm just checking because we have got animal catcher here, but I'm pretty sure this is an animal free room. It is. So I'm tempted actually to use fungal spores as an attack by this character as well. Important thing to note here, guys, we're fighting ranged foes, so we don't have to go into melee if we don't want to. Again, something else that we think that the play aid, that's what all these words down here will help clarify. So I'm going to stop there just now and come back in part 2 on this. But this was really just a test to see if this is helpful, and I want to understand if this was of use. Thanks so much. Bye bye.